Today, I predicted every NFL team's offseason moves. Because every day I open up Twitter and there's a new rumor of Matt Stafford to the Giants, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae to the Rams, and Myles Garrett apparently isn't getting traded. So I want to lock in my predictions for what I think will happen and see what happens when we put it in Madden. Starting with Matthew Stafford, who I think will be playing for the Steelers next year.
I knew this was gonna happen.
I've been working on this video for days, and I woke up today to a notification that the Rams are keeping Stafford. And I'm not surprised, they should keep him. But the whole point of this video is to make fun predictions that are realistic based on rumors. But please watch the whole video, it's really good, and I put a lot of hard work into this.
But you have no idea how upset I am about this right now.
Now, honestly, I think the Rams would be making a huge mistake to trade Stafford away just over a contract dispute when they were in the divisional round against the Eagles with a chance to win. And I don't believe the rumors of Stafford to the Giants for even a second. How do you drop that ball? And I don't see the Steelers re-signing Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, so they're definitely going to be in the market for a quarterback. And they have not had one since Big Ben, so I do think they'll swing big in this offseason. I think he's going to get the touchdown here. In my opinion, if you pair Matt Stafford with Mike Tomlin, the Steelers will be a legit Super Bowl contender. So now obviously the Rams are going to need a new quarterback, and I have them signing Sam Darnold. Darnold's still relatively young at 27 years old, and he's coming off his best statistical year with the Vikings, and he was coached by Kevin O'Connell, who obviously was Sean McVay's offensive coordinator in LA. So it makes sense to keep him in a very similar system where he can succeed. Let's see if I can make him miss. Wow, what a juke there by Higbee. And since the Rams are planning to move off Cooper Kupp, I did have them sign Chris Godwin in free agency, who should replace Kupp really nicely in this offense. I think Rodgers to the Rams is possible, but honestly, I just don't really see it happening. Like, it doesn't really make that much sense. And I think you could sign Darnold to like a 3-year deal for maybe like $30 million a year, and he could be your bridge quarterback while you draft a guy. And realistically, he'd be a pretty good fit in LA, I think. Now, those are the two biggest quarterback moves, but I'll run through the rest of that position real quick. So I got the Jets signing Justin Fields in free agency, Russell Wilson reuniting with Pete Carroll in Vegas. I think the Saints will move on from Derek Carr to free up some money, so I have him signing with the Browns to be a bridge quarterback. And the Falcons just said they're going to pay Kirk Cousins a ton of money to be their backup, which I don't really think is smart. So I think in the end, he'll get released and sign with the Saints to be their new quarterback. And while it would be funny, Aaron Rodgers is not signing with the Vikings, so I had him sign with the Tennessee Titans to mentor whichever quarterback they draft. Because honestly, I just don't think I'll have that many options in free agency. I also didn't include this year's draft class for this predictions video. I honestly think it's too early to mock draft where guys are going to go. I'll leave your realistic prediction in the comments for which player you think your team should draft, and just make sure you're subscribed and hit the like button while you're at it. Help us get to 200,000 subscribers because we're getting real close. And when I do my mock draft video real soon, I'll put you and your prediction on your favorite team. Sounds fun, right? Now next up, I got the Lions trading for Myles Garrett. I think because he really isn't just looking for more money, he will end up getting traded. And I think the Lions are a team that will end up trying to make a big move this offseason to get them over the hump. And I think pairing him, oh my God, this has to be a sack by him. How did he not get there? Come on, this camera angle is so awful to play with. Just get the tackle. I think the Lions will make a real splashy move this offseason since they were so close to the Super Bowl. And if we're being realistic, come on, this has to be a sack and a fumble. Okay, Rodgers was able to recover his fumble. I don't think the Browns would trade him to an AFC team, so the Lions just make a lot of sense. And speaking of contenders that need help on defense, I had the Bills trade for Max Crosby. Of all the moves I made, I think this might be the most unrealistic, but also I could see it happening if he wants out. As a Jets fan, I really hope this doesn't happen, but you kind of never know. I really just want like one sack with him and then we can move on. And wow, this is picked, and by of all people, it's Khalil Mack, who I also had the Bills sign. And I know doing both of these moves might be unrealistic, but I do have the Bills moving on from Von Miller, who goes back to the Broncos. And a long time ago, Khalil Mack went to Buffalo, so I think he might go ring chasing with the Bills. Now we'll check out the rest of the moves I made in the season stats, but I wanted to do one trade in this video that kind of lines up with the Luka and AD trade in the NBA. So since the Bengals have to sign Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Trey Hendrickson, and I don't think there's a way they could do all those moves, I had them tag and trade T. Higgins and send him to the Commanders. They give Jamar Chase a 4-year extension for $145 million, and then trade Trey Hendrickson to the Cowboys for Micah Parsons in return. Now, admittedly, this one's very unlikely, but the Bengals desperately need help on defense. And honestly, who would have thought that the Mavs would trade Luka to the Lakers? So that's the point of this trade. So now we'll sim to the playoffs and see how all these teams do with their new additions. Okay, wow, we got some interesting results. So on the NFC side, the Eagles, Commanders, Lions, Packers, Panthers, 49ers, and Seahawks make the playoffs. And in the AFC, the Bills, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Colts, Chiefs, and Broncos all make the playoffs. So Josh Allen led the league with 4,800 yards. Who was the highest of the guys we moved? It was Sam Darnold with 4,200 yards and 42 touchdowns on the Rams. Rodgers in Tennessee had 4,100 yards and 27 touchdowns. Kirk with the Saints had 3,700 yards and 28 touchdowns. Fields with the Jets had 3,500 yards and 36 touchdowns to only 14 picks. As a Jets fan, I would take that. Russell Wilson with the Raiders had 3,300 yards and 12 touchdowns. And Stafford with the Steelers is lower than I thought, 3,200 yards and 25 touchdowns. This team went 13-4 though, but the most touchdowns in the league was Patrick Mahomes. It's crazy Darnold is third with 42. Najee Harris led the league with 1,300 yards, and Saquon had the most touchdowns with 20. Now I had the Packers trade with the Rams to get Cooper Kupp, and he led the league with 1,600 yards, also got 15 touchdowns. His former teammate Puka Nacua had 1,600 as well, but 22 touchdowns for him. But the most touchdowns in the league was Josh Downs on the Colts. Honestly, I cannot see that happening. Let me see, which other receivers did I move? Devontae Adams on the 49ers had 927 and 10 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs on the Giants had 900 yards and 6. Godwin on the Rams had 869 and 8. Mike Williams on the Ravens had 865 and 5. Debo on the Jets had 736 and 13. And Kyle Pitts on the Broncos had 672 and 9 touchdowns. But defensively, TJ Watt led the league with 25 sacks. Max Crosby had 15.5 on the Bills. Von Miller had 15 back on the Broncos. Myles Garrett had 14.5 on the Lions. Hassan Reddick had 12 on the Falcons. And Micah Parsons had 4.5 on the Bengals. DJ Reed on the 49ers had 4 picks, but Trent McDuffie led the league with 8. And Josh Allen actually won back-to-back MVPs. Surprisingly, Sam Darnold and Justin Fields cracked the top 10. So this is going to be our playoff bracket for this season. So we'll start out the wildcard round with the Broncos versus Bills. We're only going to jump into games in the wildcard round if they're close in the fourth quarter. And on the opening drive of overtime, the Bills are already down to the 25. I don't want to watch too much of this overtime just because we have a lot of other games to check out. Curtis Samuel gets 8. So now it's 2nd and 2. I mean, if they get a first down here, Amari Cooper's going to get the touchdown. And there is pass interference, I think, on the defense. So that touchdown's going to count. So the Broncos need a touchdown on this drive or they're going home. Actually, they might get it on one play. That would have been crazy if that got them that close that quickly. Bo Nix is going to roll out. He is going to run. And he is quick. That's a first down and way more. So now they're in the red zone and Bo Nix is going to throw. They have a lot of time. He's getting a first down here to Cortland Sutton down to the 3. And he's in the backfield by himself. So they're going to throw and get the touchdown. They got to get to the 42-yard line for Tyler Bass. I hope the game doesn't do anything weird here thinking that the game's going to be over because there is 4 seconds left in this first overtime period. So yeah, he's going to throw deep because they think the game is over. So we're going to double overtime. But that was 3rd down. So the Broncos actually got the ball back and they're moving downfield. Bo Nix has like 350 yards passing in this game and they get another first down to Sutton. The Bills really need something big from Max Crosby or Khalil Mack, but the Broncos are in field goal position, so I think they're going to be able to win this. I mean, from this spot of the field, this is basically a chip shot and Lutz nails this kick. So the Broncos actually take down the Bills. Tried to help the Bills go all in, or like all in my ass. Next, we got the Commanders versus the Eagles. With the Eagles up by 3 late in this game, the Commanders got no timeouts in about 50 seconds. They're going to get the first down here and way more. They might actually score. No, they're going to get down to the 6-yard line. And that stopped the clock, which is huge for them. There's 40 seconds left. Daniels has a lot of time in the pocket, but he's going to throw and hit Zach Ertz for the touchdown. So now the Eagles are down by 4 with under 30 seconds, and they got 2 timeouts. They'll check down to Barkley, which forces them to use their second timeout. It's 3rd and 7 now. They're going to throw and get a first down here to like the 50. 16 seconds left and no timeouts. The Eagles are gonna need a miracle. It would be great revenge for the Commanders to take down the Eagles. Why is he throwing it out of bounds on back-to-back plays? Like, I feel like he did that instantly. Like, there was no routes developed. So now he's probably gonna chuck it. Yeah, deep downfield. And unless there's pass interference, this game's over and the Commanders are moving on. So now we got the Ravens versus Colts, but the Ravens easily won this game. The Packers absolutely destroyed the Panthers. The 49ers took down the Seahawks. And last up, we got the Bengals versus Steelers. And with 2 minutes to go, we're tied at 17. So let's see what Matt Stafford can do. He's going to actually throw the screen to Cordell Patterson. Stafford has like a ridiculous record in the playoffs. He's played for so long, but so many years. He obviously never made the playoffs with the Lions. They're going to get a first down here with Harris. The Bengals only have 1 more timeout, so they're going to have to use it here. And I imagine that there's no way they can stop this this clock, and they're gonna, ooh, wow, he's breaking tackles. And this is not a long kick at all, so I'm sure they're gonna make it. And they're gonna move on to the next round. Even Micah Parsons could not save the Bengals. But Matt Stafford looks like a good addition for the Steelers. So in the divisional, we get the Broncos versus Chiefs, the Ravens versus Steelers, the Packers versus 49ers, and the Commanders versus Lions. This is the revenge game for Detroit because the Commanders knocked them out in last year's playoffs, and they do get that revenge, winning 31-14. Next, we got the Broncos versus Chiefs. The Chiefs went 16-1, so I would be very surprised if this game is even close. But late in this game, Bo Nix hit Kyle Pitts for a go-ahead touchdown. So now the Broncos are up by 1. They're going for 2, and they get it. 2 Kyle Pitts again. So now the Chiefs got about 2 minutes. I mean, they only need a field goal here. The problem is they only have 1 timeout to work with, and they just burned a lot of clock on like 2 plays. At their own 49 now, there's 40 seconds left. Easily get a first down to Kelsey. Still have not used that last timeout, so there's 20 seconds left. I mean, they might take a sack there. It's Von Miller, and that knocked them out of field goal range. There's 15 seconds left. He's gonna get sacked again by Nick Bonito. So the Broncos just took down the Chiefs. This is like Brandon Perno's wet dreams. Now we got the Packers versus 49ers. It feels like these two teams always find a way to meet in the playoffs. Devontae Adams did manage to have 2 touchdowns in this game. Like, he was absolutely dominating his defenders, but it wasn't enough as the Packers win 31-24. And last up, we got the Ravens versus Steelers. We're tied at 14 with 2 minutes to go. The Steelers got 3 timeouts, so let's see what Matt Stafford can do here. That was a risky pass to throw. It did gain 8, but there's a minute and a half to go. They have a lot of time to throw. Where is Stafford gonna go on this? Stafford's gonna throw deep here. I can't even see the receiver. And oh my God, Austin catches it. That was a dime that took them all the way to the 26-yard line. And the Steelers have used their last timeout, so yeah, they're gonna run it. So now to go to the AFC Championship, they are gonna nail it. Matt Stafford takes down Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So in the NFC Championship, we got the Packers versus Lions. And just before the 2-minute warning, the Lions are up by 3. They're not running it. They're gonna throw deep and get Laporta, who's wide open for a huge gain. Okay, now surely they're gonna run the ball to just try to kill some clock. Wow, Gibbs has a ton of space. The Packers had a chance, but I mean, if they get a first down here, and the Packers are definitely gonna use timeouts. That decision to be aggressive and throw the ball might have just sent the Lions to the Super Bowl. But it's definitely not over yet. I mean, they're gonna keep handing off the ball to kill clock, but Gibbs does get the touchdown. And I stemmed ahead a bit. It's 4th and 10. I mean, the Packers don't really stand any chance here. He's gonna throw, and it's nearly picked. So the Lions are gonna go to the Super Bowl. I guess that Myles Garrett addition was huge for them. But will they face the Broncos or Steelers? With 2 minutes to go, the Broncos are up 12-10. They must have missed an extra point to give us this very weird score. Stafford, oh, nearly sacked. Now it's 3rd and 3. They're at the 47, so they're very close to field goal range. But Stafford's gonna throw and get crushed, and Van Jefferson is wide open all the way down to the 8-yard line. That's the second extremely clutch throw by Stafford that we've seen so far in these playoffs, and he's, not getting a touchdown. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 1. I mean, a touchdown really solidifies this, but Stafford gets sacked on this play. So now to end this game, Boswell's gonna put it up, and he nails it. So the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl. So we got the Steelers versus the Lions, tied at 10 with 4 minutes to go in this game. It's crazy that the 2 biggest moves I did with the Stafford and Myles Garrett trade ended up meeting up in the Super Bowl. I think it should go without saying, but obviously I did not force any of these matchups like you saw me do it. It's just that the Steelers realistically are a quarterback away from being a legit contender, especially in Madden Sim. And the Lions are already a Super Bowl contender, made even better with the addition of Myles Garrett. Wow, he actually dropped that ball, so the Steelers are gonna have to go for the field goal to take the 3-point lead. Now Jared Goff's got about 2 minutes and 3 timeouts to work with. I'm pretty sure I didn't change anything on offense for them because I gave them the best defensive player. While I do see that trade being realistic, I didn't want to go like too overboard with making them even better. They're at the 41-yard line, so hopefully they can get a first down and keep this drive alive. But it's 3rd and 5. I would have considered even running it because it's obviously 4-down territory. And they are 2 yards short, and now they run the ball, but they do get it with Gibbs. That was scary there for a second because I thought their season might be over. Down to the 27 now. They got about 45 seconds left. They get another first down here to Gibbs. They have 1 timeout left, but the Steelers might need to use timeouts themselves to have a chance because it looks like the Lions are gonna get a touchdown. They're gonna get down to the 1 or 2. That clock is, oh my God. It's simmed all the way down to 3 seconds, so this is gonna be the last play of the game. I thought he was gonna get sacked. Goff, just run it. You're gonna get sacked, and he's short. So the Steelers win the game. Matt Stafford wins Super Bowl MVP. But was he actually short? That was so close. It looks like he's gonna be down inside the 1-yard line. That's literally like Kevin Dyson and the Titans being 1 yard short in Super Bowl 34. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you want to watch more, I got 2 videos for you on screen right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Be good people.